Thank you for joining us today with Soulful Conversations with Nadjejda. I'm Nadjejda Chapoteau. I am an empowerment and confidence coach, spiritual teacher, and speaker. I help purpose-driven women coaches and online entrepreneurs find their niche, their message, in order for them to book their dream clients. One of the things I am most passionate about, and which is really one of my missions in life that I also work with my clients on, is really reconnecting with themselves, embracing their authentic self, and sharing themselves boldly through their message with the world while making an impact. I am so excited about my guest today. She is a fellow Haitian American sister. We are both former Zumba instructors, which is how we ended up meeting in the online space. Regine Saintil.
Hi, everyone.
Regine helps empower women to take control of their health and fitness and to become more accepting of themselves regardless of their body shape. She has suffered chronic pain her whole life, and she refuses to let it dictate her life and who she is. I really, really love that. Welcome, Regine. Thank you for joining me today.
Thank you for having me. It's a great pleasure.
Yes, totally. So tell me, Regine, I know you're really about, I know you and we've spoken, and I have to share that one of the reasons that I actually asked her to join me is because for me, I really want to bring in women who have a story to share and women who truly are about being authentic and sharing their struggles. Because I think sometimes, especially in the online space, especially in the entrepreneur field, we think that in order to show up as the expert, we have to kind of like not share our struggles or what we've been through. And I actually feel like your struggles, our struggles, is actually what puts us in a even better position to be able to help others, empower them, and really get what they're going through. So Regine did a very vulnerable Facebook Live, or I don't know if it was a video, but it was a video. It could have been not a live at the time. I don't know if lives were really...
Live wasn't on yet. Yeah,
it wasn't on yet. But the thing is, her and I met. We were both teaching Zumba, but in the online space. She's in California. At the time I was in DC, and that's how. And she was, she's Haitian American like me, so that's kind of like how we connected. And I didn't really see anything much from her for a while, and then one day pops up this very vulnerable, raw, authentic, my type of thing video. Where she really was sharing her struggle in some of the stuff that she has been through and is still going through. And I know for me, it truly resonated with me because I had gone through some of it as well with my thyroid condition, which is like, something I still deal with in a way. But yeah, Regine, so tell me, for you, did you always feel like, okay, did you embrace your body and your fitness routine?
That was a struggle.
The one you have now? Was that always the case?
That was a struggle, and I have to admit, it's still an everyday struggle because it's not perfect. Because I do know the road, I do know how to embrace it, but some days, you let your mind get the best of you and you actually don't. So, and first, that's what I'd like to tell everybody is just because you fail one day does not mean you can't go back up and just move on. Just accept it and say, well, it's the nature of it all. That's what it is. It's the nature, and just move on. It's a journey. It's not a destination. So every single day will change. You will have up and downs, and that's okay. And I had to fight a lot to get to where I am now. It was, I thought I was in a well-defined place. I thought I knew exactly what to do. I thought I knew my body. And then all of a sudden I felt like my body just betrayed me. That's exactly what I felt like. I felt like it betrayed me. I was like, how could you do this to me? This is what I do. I teach people what to do, how to do it. And then all of a sudden, I'm like, if I can't trust you, now what? You know? So
yeah, I get that totally.
I felt betrayed. And I had to relearn how to listen to my body, how to feed it right, how to let it recover right. Because that's the one thing also, in the fitness industry, you hear go, 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 or
Yeah.
if it doesn't challenge you, it doesn't change you, no pain, no gain. You hear all of that, but
I know.
nobody tells you to listen, to recover. Rest is important. Just feed it normally. It's about, yes, less calories. Yes, it's all about less calories if you're trying to lose weight. I get it. But if your body is in a state of shock and your body is in a flight mode, you're not getting proper nutrients, your body, you have whatever conditions going on that's putting you in high stress, whatever it is you feed it, your body is not doing right. It's not doing well at the very cellular level. So now you restricting calories on top of that is putting it into even more stress. Because what you really need to focus on now is how to feed it properly. You know, the proper macronutrients, protein, carbs, and fat, and then the proper micronutrients, which are your vitamins at the cellular level. So it's more on, you need to really focus on quality and listening to your body and not focusing on all the fads diets that are out there. There are a lot of them, and I encourage people to try them all or try most of them and find which one works for you, because not all of them work. You know, I used to be a devotee of super high protein. I'm still a devotee of super high protein. I like it. But I still kind of do more of I do it in moderation, because I notice some of them, some animal protein just makes me feel horrible. Like I look like $1,000,000, but I feel like shit. So it's like, well,
yeah, totally.
And I've gotten to the point right now, it's about feeling good.
Totally, I love that. Totally,
you want to feel healthy. It's not only just about the outside look. You want to feel healthy, because so many people, for example, we just had a major death in the fitness community. Oh my God. And his name is escaping me right now. Go figure. I completely, he looked like $1,000,000. But I'm not going to speculate, because I really don't recall the reasons, the cause of his death. But I believe it is somewhat nutrition oriented or whatever it is. But anyways, don't get my word, my word for it. But he was extremely young, and who knows? And that's what I say, though. He looked like $1,000,000, and it's not about the look. We get we get sold about the look. We get sold about everything. Don't get me wrong. Carrying extra weight puts us in a category for illnesses.
Totally.
That's the science. That's where it is. It does. But you know what? There's a lot of skinny fat out there. There's a lot of people that look the part out there, and that still are in the same category as if you are carrying extra weight. So of course you want to, so even me in my search for health, I still want to get rid of the extra pounds that I've gained over the years due to hypothyroidism, fibromyalgia, and unable to work out for a long time. And of course, my nutrition not being the best, because after a while, it is also the nature of it. If you suffer a lot from chronic pain, it comes with depression. That's something that comes hand in hand.
Mm-hmm.
After a while, you know, it's like there's only so much your mind can take and your body can take. There is a threshold. I call it, there's a threshold of pain. There's a threshold of pain that your body can handle. And depending what your relationship is with food, I have, and that's something I've never kept it secret. I have battled with eating disorders in the past and when I was in college. So of course, when you end up being in a vulnerable place, those, all your old battles, it's all of a sudden, everything just gangs up on you. It creeps back in.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, because you don't have the willpower to deal with everything. It all creeps back in. So all of that put together was just like, was the perfect environment, obviously, for me to gain weight and do all. It was just the perfect combination. So I had to learn to. So that's why I want to really get people to understand is learn to listen to your body. I don't say don't listen to your doctors. Listen to your doctors. But you know what? At the end of the day, you're your own advocate. And
yes, I love that.
Best what is going on with yourself. Because a lot of times the doctors will not listen to you. You have to insist. You feel something is wrong, keep on insisting.
I love that, Regine. I really love that because, you know, there's two things that you said that I really loved and I wanted to emphasize on them was when you talked about, first of all, the body is not like, you know, that's not it. Because I think sometimes some of us, like I know for myself, many years ago when I was like in my late teens and 20s and, you know, I was very small. I mean, I was skinny, you know, and then I gained a little, but, you know, and people would say, oh my God, you're so healthy. No, I was not healthy. Mm-hmm. I was not physically active, especially in my early 20s. I was not physically active. Mm-hmm. So I may have looked what society would want to say is healthy. You know, I was skinny or you know, but, or even when, if I wasn't, because you know what, I didn't, you know, I would go up the stairs or I couldn't run, you know, I mean, I was still not a runner because that's just not my thing, but just to say that I was not healthy. Mm-hmm. You can notice it because I think sometimes society is like, you might look, I mean, I don't know the story you were talking about, you know, so I love that. And the other thing that you said, which I thought was, you know, I often tell people, you are your own guru.
Yes.
Because I think sometimes what happens is that we're looking for people to tell us, oh, this is what you need to eat, this is what you need to do, this is what you need to work out, this is the type of workout routine you need to have. And it's like, no, it's just the same thing with, you know, knowing what to do and what not to do. You know, there are people that I pay attention to. I listen to what they say, but more than anything, like you said, exactly, and that's what I learned when I went through acupuncture treatment. My acupuncturist told me, listen to your body. Mm-hmm. Your body will tell you when you're eating something that's not good for you, and you and I were just talking about that before we started, or when you're doing some type of exercise, or whatever. Just like the thing is that what we do is that we're not thinking, we're not being mindful, we're not being conscious, and then we're also looking for people to give us, you know, to tell us what to do. I know for me, you know, like I really like some of what medical medium is teaching, but there are things that he says and I'm like, okay, well, no, I don't know that's going to work for me because when I do this that you're telling me to eat, even though I have this condition, I don't feel good.
Yeah.
You know, so I totally agree with you is that it's so important for us to really pay attention to our bodies.
Definitely pay attention to your body. That's to be said. It's not, I mean, I'm not saying turn your back on science. Science has been proven. But we do know to lose weight, you have to reduce your calories. That's a given. However, it's not, you may not be ready. Your body environment may not be ready for that at the time. And that's what I tell you to listen to, as opposed to, you may notice you go about it a little too quick and you notice no matter what you do, your body will hang on to it. Because at the end of the day, if your body is not nourished at the cellular level, and if it's not getting the proper nutrients that it needs to be getting, and you keep on restricting calories, it's still not getting what it needs to function properly. So then how do you expect it to be losing the extra, to release the extra pounds or whatever it is that you're trying to achieve? It's not going to happen. I mean, even if you're doing everything you're supposed to be doing, especially when you have a lot of underlying conditions. So people a lot of times will misunderstand and take it for what, you know, I'm still an advocate about calories in and calories out. That's very much, that is it, you know. For weight loss, that is the formula, straight up. I mean, we're not going to change it. It is the formula. If you eat too many calories, you're going to gain weight. But sometimes you have to forego weight loss for health. That doesn't mean it has to happen all the time. But for a time being, for you to get back to balance. Once you're back into balance, then you can concentrate on the weight loss part. So for now, everything was just, my body was wreaking havoc. My mind wasn't right. Hormones weren't going. Nothing was going right. So I needed to get myself into a healthy state first. And by the healthy state, yes, full health means you're also within normal weight range. And I hate to use the word normal. And I'm actually doing air quotes for the normal. I hate to use that word, but normal and average are two words I can't stand, to tell you the truth. I'm like, I hate being normal and I freaking hate being average. It's like, come on. You know, we're all individuals and we're all freaking unique. So telling me normal, what may be normal for you is not necessarily normal for me.
Yes, totally. I love that. So tell me, I love that. So Regine, what would you say for somebody who is currently struggling with, you know, they've had the chronic condition. They are not like, you know, I know for you, your fitness routine doesn't look like what it was before. And I think even some of your eating habits. So tell me, what would you say to somebody, share with us, what would you say to somebody who's really having a hard time being with where they are right now? Like,
okay, what I tell,
accepting it.
Yeah, that's an amazing question. What I tell a lot of my clients, because I do have a lot of people that have like that, is, and I will tell your audience, is that first and foremost, be mindful and listen to your body. That is, you cannot go forward without this component. Listen to your body, be mindful. And then a lot of doctors, and I found that it helped. If it's food related, you try an elimination diet. That's one way to find out what's going on with you. Anyways.
Okay.
Because, and I also believe let food be thy medicine.
Yes.
So that's what I believe in. Of course, every condition is different. Some of them, you know, I'm not saying dump all your medication. Not at all. That's not what I'm saying. There's a place for it. I decided to go the no meds way personally, but every condition is different. And listen to your body. Movement is lotion. There's no way about it.
Yeah.
So even if you're starting with, and it's something I had to work hard to understand and to accept. I remember when the doctor said, start with 15 minutes walking. I was like, are you fucking kidding me? Sorry. It's like, really? 15 minutes walking? This is the girl that was teaching 18 classes a week and working out twice a day for 2 hours. You're telling me to start with 15 minutes walking. What is this going to do for me? But at the end of the day, yes, you do have to, and that comes back to listen to your body, dial it down, and start with something. And eventually it will accumulate. Because what happens to a lot of us, most of us, myself included, is oh, you can't do what I used to do. Well, then I ain't doing nothing. You know, then it's like, well, then forget it. I'm just not going to do anything. And unfortunately, that's not the way to do it, because eventually you will ramp up. Because I'm looking even at my journey now, I'm looking at what I was able to do even this whole year. I'm like, okay, I didn't lose much weight, but that was not really the point. But I'm looking at because there's something about what I call the non-scale victories. And I'm like, my workouts are definitely more intense than they were in January. Yay! You know, and I'm like, and I'm doing them more often. Yes! You know, so that's kind of thing. Celebrating the victories.
The victories, yes, I love that.
Not gonna happen as fast as you want it. And another thing is extreme patient with yourself. Be patient. Be very, very patient. Be accepting, be loving, be patient, be forgiving of yourself. And that's what, and be mindful. That's what will get you through it.
Totally.
Keep doing what you're supposed to be doing. You know, pay attention to your nutrition and keep moving.
Yeah. I'm really hearing, I'm hearing acceptance and, you know, celebrating the small victories. Because like you said, I think sometimes we're always looking at, you know, it's like, you know, it's just a journey. It's not a destination. And you have to celebrate the little things. Like you were saying, like, oh, I'm working out more often. You know, I'm stronger. You know, even if you're not where you would want to be or where you were 2, 3 years, 5 years ago. So I love that.
Yeah. My clothes now, I'm like, oh, it's not quite as tight. It's not where I want it to be, but it's not quite as tight. So, hey.
Yeah, I love that.
There's a new normal. It's like all of a sudden now I'm like, I'm learning to appreciate, not that I didn't appreciate it before, but I am learning to appreciate my body, and I'm learning it's like I'm meeting it again for the first time. I'm like, oh, nice to meet you. That's how you operate now? Okay. Okay. Let me see if I can get on board with this. And you know what? It's not, especially for women, and since our audience is mostly women, it's not just, even if you're going through chronic pain, we have different phases in life that we go through, right? What you used to do when you were 20, you starve yourself for a couple of days and you're down freaking 10 pounds. If you're 40, if you're 50, you can't do that anymore. I'm sure you noticed that everything starts changing. So you need to pay attention to that and say, oh, okay, I have to do this now. You have to keep changing and keep moving forward with it and be mindful.
Yeah. And you know, actually what I have noticed is I've noticed that the older I've gotten, exactly what you were saying, I used to lose weight much faster. Like, okay, I don't eat well for like, you know, 2 days or so, and I'm like losing. Now, what I've noticed, and I remember one of my cousins said that to, you know, one time she was coming, you know, when you're in college, so you're like skipping meals or something.
Exactly.
And she was saying, you know what, guys, that way of eating is not good, because as you get older, actually what I notice now is that I actually lose weight or maintain my weight more when I eat regularly than when I miss meals.
Exactly.
Because when I, you know, people think that not eating, but no, actually, if you're not eating, first of all, you're either not going to lose, because when you eat, it's like it all gets, or you actually, if you lose, you gain it right back and probably even more.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
So it's more, as you get older, consistency is the key. And it's with everything. Consistency is the key. You are not going to get any result for anything that you do if it's a one-off thing.
Yeah.
Things that you do, that it's the accumulation. 15 minutes of walking every single day, you think, oh, it's just 15 minutes, will give you a lot more result than if you went to the gym and did 60 minutes of hardcore, or you say, oh, I hike once a week, hardcore. Big deal, and then you notice nothing. you'll notice, yeah, nothing is going to happen because it's a one-off.
Yes.
You'd be surprised.
It's that consistency. It's
Yeah.
that consistency that is so important.
That person that's doing the little 15 minutes of just plain walking, nothing fancy, will get result faster and in the long run, as opposed to the person that's doing the one-off hardcore. And that's the thing, is when I couldn't, I would prefer go ahead, I know it, but because I know that's what I love and that's what I miss, I would prefer saving all my energy. When I feel good, I'm like, woo, I go at it until I'm dead, and then I'm dead for 2 weeks. And then you recover, and then you go at it again. That's not going to do anything, as opposed to actually listen to what the doctor had said and just walk for 15 minutes. Yeah. It's boring. It's nothing compared to what I used to do or what we used to do, but that's the only way you're going to build. Because, 15 minutes is not going to put your body at complete, stress. You can recover from 15 minutes of walk. And then, yes, it'll take you maybe a month, depending on where you are, but you will build up and you'll notice, oh, in a month, you can actually make it to 20 minutes. Or you can make it to a walk jog, because the consistency adds up and you allowed your body to rest and you allowed your body to recover, and it wasn't too much, as opposed to, oh, today I feel good. Oh, I feel like my old self again. Let me go kill it for 60 minutes. And then you're dead for 2 weeks. And you really cannot even get 15 minutes of walking. You can't get up. I mean, I know from experience, because I have done it. And every so now and then, I find myself sleeping back, feeling like, ooh, yeah, I'm going to kill this workout. And I'm like, yeah, I'm not going to like this tomorrow. Am I going to Then I'm thinking, am I be able to work out tomorrow? Or even this week? And I notice, if I'm not able to, if I'm working out so hard that I will not be able to work out at least 3 more times or 4 more times this week, then I dial it back, way back. And I'm like, It's okay if I feel like I'm looking like a wimp, because I'm better off dialing this one back and being able to put in 4 workouts this week than crank this one up. And then this is it for me for the week. I'm not going to get any result.
Totally.
My ego will get, will get a little boost for that day. Nothing wrong with that. Sometimes it will happen to the most of us. Sometimes, you need to have your ego, just kind of boost every so now and then. But you can't let that just lead you every single time, trying to live in the past. So let's move forward to the future and just kind of live in the now, as opposed to in the past, what your body used to do, how it used to feel. Because all it's going to do is frustrate you in the now.
Totally get that. Okay, so Regine, as you know, my audience are for the most part women entrepreneurs. What would you say to them, because I know you're an entrepreneur yourself, how do you, when you have work, I mean, I know for you, this is part of your work too. So, but how do you make sure with everything that, with the chronic pain and all of that, like, how do you make sure that you actually get time to do your workout, or, how do you find the motivation and the inspiration or something to actually do it? What would you say to them, for those of us, women entrepreneurs who are struggling with this?
Okay, that's an amazing question. I was just talking about this yesterday. Make yourself a priority. You have to be, in my case, mine is one, and even then, I'm not even saying in my case, because I was still struggling with it, even if it's something, because I give myself completely to my clients and then I completely forget and I put it last minute. But it's not that. Make yourself a priority. What I tell people is I am a hard believer in morning rituals. I am not the best at doing them, but I say to myself, if I can get 4 to 5 days out of the week, I call it a win. So start small. That means put your alarm clock, and it doesn't have to be big. That means set up your alarm clock 10 minutes ahead or 15 minutes ahead. Do a little morning ritual, whatever it is that has to do. First, do a morning ritual that has to do, cover the 3 areas. Get your health and nutrition, get your mind right, and then get your body right, get your body moving. These are the 3 areas. Once you cover them, and by get your body moving, I'm not saying a big thing. It could just be yoga morning salutations. Call it stretch if you're not doing yoga. I don't care. Call it whatever you want. You know, just stretch, Pilates, just whatever it is. Morning stretch. That gets the blood flow. You know, it doesn't have to be fancy. It's just try to touch your toes.
Yeah. Would you say, you know what I'm thinking? I'm thinking, okay, you know what? Hey, because I remember you talked about the 15-minute cardio. I was thinking, put on some Bruno Mars and move that body for 15 minutes.
For 15 minutes, exactly.
Yeah, and actually, I love what you shared regarding the 15 minutes. And I was thinking, as you were sharing that, I was thinking how, you know, especially as you were saying, when you overdo it, you can't. So especially, you know, maybe in the beginning or you haven't figured it out for you, I think like you were saying, like if us entrepreneurs were to say, okay, you know what, I'm going to do 15 minutes of walking per day or 15 minutes of yoga, like you said, the stretching, or turn that music on, like for me, crank it up, dance for 15 minutes, and then because then you're not exhausted to do it the next day or something, and you also have the energy to get on the calls or whatever it is that you're doing with your clients and for your family and yourself. So I love that, totally.
And another thing is, it doesn't have to be continuous, guys. You have to realize this is not, obviously, this is for health. This has nothing to do with losing weight, because 15 minutes is not going to get you there. It's just everybody knows. You still have to put in some hard work and sweat. It's not gonna get you there. But I'm talking about for people, if you're having trouble starting, if you are having chronic pain, if you're recovering from injury, if you've gone through a hard time as opposed to not doing
it at all. Okay, good. I love that. So Regine, tell me, what do you stand for in life?
Being true to myself. You have to.
That's very important.
Being true to myself, and I've been trying to show up for people that, you know, not being true to myself, being true to my word, and showing up for people as I am.
Mm-hmm. I love that. Totally love that. Yeah. And I'm curious, why is that very important for you? Was there a time in your life where you were not doing that?
Yeah, actually.
I think that's the case for all of us, you know?
It took me a while. I noticed, well, because I've had chronic pain my whole life. So, and it is something that was, for my whole life, I've been labeled as a hypochondriac, because it was a pain that could not be found. So I went through a lot of doctors and it could never be found. So because they could never find the source of it, I was labeled as a hypochondriac. So I always showed up as a different person than who I was.
Okay.
And I always faked it till I made it. I always showed up as a different person. And until I had head surgery, anyways, long story short, I had head surgery maybe 20 years ago almost. Yeah. And for the first time in my life, I actually had no pain. And I realized I was actually a freaking happy, funny, as opposed to the bitchy that they always labeled me as. And I'm like, I'm a funny person. I'm a happy-go-lucky person. I am not so crappy. People always thought, you know, I was, you know, a little sour, a little snobbish, and I'm like, I am not. And even as the pain starting to return nowadays, because the last 7 years, my pain is back, and And I decided to go without surgery, without meds. Anyways, I decided, I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to let the pain define me, which is why that's usually my tagline. It's because pain will turn you into a whole different person.
Totally.
You want to retreat. You don't want to talk to people. And I do not want, and so I still fight. And I used to be the person that says no to every invite. And that's not what I want. And I want to show up. I used to be the person not only that would say yes, and then that will go back on my word.
I get that. Totally love that. Thanks for sharing that. So thank you so much, Regine. This really ends the interview part. Now, Regine, I want you to let my audience know, I want you to share with us a little bit more about what you do, where people can connect with you. And I know you have a challenge, you have a free offer that is going on that you can tell them about. And I just want everyone to know, and also for you, don't feel like you need to spell things out, because all your info will be under the video. And if you're listening to us on Apple Podcasts, you will be able to see her information on there as well. So, don't worry about having to spell everything out. So let us know more about you in terms of
more about me. I actually work specifically with women, and it's women of all women, but mostly women from about 30 to 60 plus I work to empower women in the health and fitness. I help them to reclaim their bodies. I help them to get a better relationship with their bodies while working to actually learn their bodies, to learn to love their bodies, but also while working to get it to be the body of their dreams. There's nothing wrong with that. But to do it in a loving and mindful way. Because of that, actually, I've launched a 7-day challenge, and it's one of my number one complaints, if I may call it, or number one questions usually is women coming to me about the belly. My belly is big, and I could have run a challenge called how to reduce your belly, how to, lose inches and whatnot. But I decided to go the health way. And a lot of times too, people are carrying an excess weight in their body, especially in their belly. And it's usually, a lot of times it's due to nutrition, and it's usually belly bloat, because I'm getting a lot of clients that are coming with me with esophageal, I'm not pronouncing it right, problems, all kinds of things. I am not a nutritionist. I am not a medical doctor. So put that out of the way. But my challenge is actually how to help you reduce belly bloat. And it's just tips to help you reduce that belly bloat. At the same time, 7 days of learning to find foods that will usually cause belly bloat in most people, or for you to help you find the ones that are actually the main culprits for yourself. So I guide you each day through either eliminating or adding the proper foods to help you with that belly bloat. And of course, there's movement in there, obviously.
I love that.
It's not a lose weight. It's not a lose your belly. It's reducing that belly bloat and feeling better.
Totally. I really, really love that, Regine. Love that. So tell us do you want to tell people where they can locate you on social media?
Yes. On social media, I am on Instagram, and it's at RSJFit. And I am on Facebook on my private page. That's where a little bit more active there. It's Regine Saintil Johnson. And also there's my business page, which is RSJ Fit and Healthy.
Great. Wow. Thank you so much. This was really great, Regine. I really got a lot from this, and I hope you all did. Thank you so much for joining me, for accepting my invitation, and also for really sharing yourself the way you have shared yourself with us, because for me, that is one of my big things, is that I want to bring in women and interview women who really are about sharing themselves fully, not just like, let me just tell you what to do. You know, so thank you so much. And thank you everyone for joining us. I hope you will go ahead and subscribe to us here on Apple Podcasts. And if you're watching this video from my website, please feel, subscribe to my email list. Below you'll find you'll find the box where you can enter your name and your email address. Join my email list. You'll get weekly tips and inspiration from me. You'll get the episode every Thursday that comes out will be delivered in your inbox. You'll know about it. And you will also get my free gift, which is my 7 questions to help you have a aligned message in your business and also help you reconnect with yourself, which is so important to us. And also, those of you on iTunes, you can also find my website, lovelikecoaching.com, if you want to subscribe to my email list as well. Leave us some reviews, leave us comments under the video, and I will let Regine know, and she'll jump on there and reply to you all. Thank you. Love and light to all. Thank you again, Regine. Take care.
It was a great pleasure.
Yes, it was. Thanks.